For Clark, that's 13 as Howard is up to 18 points.
Passing.
27 years. That's how long it took Nike to put a female basketball player front and center in a Super Bowl ad. And then, finally, they made their move. Out of every athlete in the world, every superstar, every legend, every safe choice, they picked one name, Caitlin Clark, a player still just at the beginning of her professional journey.
Caitlin, how did this crowd, this moment, this environment meet your expectations today?
They always succeed.
A $16 million bet on just 62 seconds of airtime. Why her? Why now? When that ad dropped, it shattered expectations. In just 24 hours, tens of millions of people had watched it. In a single quarter, one athlete moved the needle for an entire league. Ticket sales, media deals, merchandise, cultural relevance, all accelerated by a single person. How does one player shift an industry this fast? This isn't just a basketball story. This is a power shift. Long before the Super Bowl lights, before signature shoes, before casual fans even knew how to spell her name, Caitlin Clark was already changing the game, on and off the court, and then came one defining moment, one commercial that would mark the beginning of everything. State Farm didn't give her a small regional spot or a background cameo in someone else's campaign. They put her front and center alongside Jake from State Farm in a national commercial, making her the first NCAA athlete ever to land a placement of this scale with the insurance giant.
Clark, wow! You bet!
Now, take a moment to let this sink in. College athletes had only just started earning from their name, image, and likeness. While most were negotiating small local deals, car dealerships, neighborhood restaurants, Caitlin Clark was operating on a completely different level.
Weeks and even the past couple months, I feel like I'm so focused on helping this team win and be so.
But what made this commercial truly unforgettable wasn't just that she appeared on screen. It was how she appeared. Every line hit. Every reaction felt effortless. The way she played off Jake, the timing of her delivery, the natural confidence she carried, everything clicked. Viewers weren't watching an athlete nervously reading a script. They were watching someone who instinctively knew how to own a camera, land a punchline, and make 60 seconds feel like pure entertainment instead of a commercial. That authenticity, the kind brands spend millions trying to manufacture but rarely capture, was hers naturally. She wasn't acting, she was being Caitlin Clark, and the camera loved her for it. The results were staggering. According to the Shorty Awards, the campaign racked up 29.2 million video views, over 115,000 social engagements, and more than 157 million impressions across State Farm's channels. But the most impressive stat, analysis later showed Caitlin's spot was 46% more effective at driving engagement than the average State Farm ad. 46%. That's not a small boost, it's total domination. The power wasn't just in the script, it was in the tiny details fans couldn't stop talking about. The pause before a punchline, that subtle smirk when she knew she'd nailed it, the casual way. She handled a basketball as if it were part of her body, not just a prop. Every nuance added up, proving that some moments aren't just seen, they're felt.
Best get-ahead passer, and her three-point.
She didn't feel like a corporate spokesperson. She felt like your favorite basketball player, just the one who happened to be in a commercial. Suddenly, even people who had never watched a women's basketball game knew the name Caitlin Clark. That single ad opened doors most athletes spend their entire careers dreaming of, and she walked through them without hesitation. Then came the Super Bowl. Nike had gone 27 years without putting women's basketball at the center of its biggest stage. 27 years on the sidelines while other sports, other stars, other stories claimed the spotlight. And when Nike returned, it wasn't quietly. It wasn't a test. It was a bold declaration. Caitlin Clark was front and center, and the message was clear. This wasn't just a commercial. This was a statement.
You can too.
The commercial was titled "You Can't Win, So Win," and it ran for 62 seconds during Super Bowl 59. But Caitlin Clark wasn't alone. Nike brought together what felt like an all-star lineup of elite athletes. Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Sha'Carri Richardson, Jordan Chiles, champions from multiple sports, all sharing the screen and carrying the same powerful message. The idea was simple but electric. They'll tell you it's impossible, so you do it anyway. You can't win, then win. It landed as both a challenge and a battle cry. Narrated with weight and set to Led Zeppelin, the ad played like a highlight reel for every underdog who refused to back down, for every athlete told to stay quiet and instead chose to roar. And the numbers? Insane. Within 24 hours, the commercial had been watched more than 66 million times. 66 million in just a single day. Industry analysts pegged the earned media value at $4.2 million. An extraordinary feat for any debut on the Super Bowl stage. And that's just the start. The impact wasn't only in the stats, it was in how the ad resonated, inspired, and commanded attention across the entire sports world.
But obviously Northwestern makes it hard on us every time we play them, so I give them a lot of credit. Veronica Burton's a heck of a player.
The commercial outperformed nearly every other ad during Super Bowl 59, earning 75% positive sentiment and ranking in the top 1% for social influence. The top 1% out of every single commercial aired during the most watched television event of the year. This wasn't just a successful ad. This was cultural domination at the highest level. Nike reportedly paid around $16 million for that Super Bowl spot, and they entrusted Caitlin Clark to make it count. She didn't just meet expectations, she exceeded them completely. What made this moment truly remarkable wasn't just her performance. With one commercial, Caitlin bridged two worlds that rarely align so seamlessly. The massive corporate world of sports marketing and the authentic energy of an athlete who commands attention on her own terms.
Crowd, this moment, this environment meet your expectations today?
I mean, they always exceeded.
On one side, you have sleek production and carefully crafted messaging. On the other, the grassroots basketball culture that has quietly driven women's hoops forward for years, often without recognition or resources. In just 62 seconds, Caitlin Clark connected those two worlds. And she didn't just raise her own profile, she elevated the entire conversation around women's basketball and American sports culture. She helped build the ecosystem. What sets Caitlin apart from the typical endorsement play isn't the size of her deals. It's the way everything fits together. She's not just signing sponsorships, she's creating a universe where every partnership has purpose. Every product feels genuine, and fans aren't simply buying merchandise. They're buying into a story, a lifestyle, a journey they feel part of. Take Gatorade, for example. They didn't just put her face on a bottle. They crafted an entire campaign around her routine, hydration, recovery, performance, turning a simple product into an extension of her story.
The amount of them were either my age or, we even had rookies in the room too, so.
And it worked every time. Every product tied directly to Caitlin Clark's work ethic and style of play. Suddenly, each sip, every bottle, every pre-workout shot felt Caitlin approved. Fans treated it like a badge of loyalty, like wearing a team jersey, but more personal. The limited edition Gatorade bottles became instant collectibles. Stores sold out within days as fans hunted them down like rare drops. Social media exploded with unboxing videos, routine breakdowns, and fans showing off their finds. The campaign with Caitlin at the center saw its limited edition bottles and towels sell out in roughly 24 hours. This wasn't a standard endorsement, it was ecosystem marketing at its peak. Caitlin didn't just hold the product, she embodied the lifestyle. Kids, aspiring players, even casual fans started copying her routines like a blueprint for success. That kind of influence, that kind of behavior. Adoption. Brands dream of it. Few ever achieve it. Then Wilson stepped in and they raised the bar even higher. Caitlin launched the first ever female signature basketball collection with Wilson. But this wasn't just a photo op or a paycheck. She co-created every aspect. Colors, design, feel, and every small detail. The final collection reflected her on-court style, her personality, and her preferences. It wasn't just merchandise, it was an extension of her. To put this into perspective, when LeBron James dropped his first signature shoe in 2003, it marked a turning point for Nike in the NBA. It proved that a young player could carry an entire product line, that their personal brand could drive massive sales. Caitlin Clark just accomplished the women's basketball version of that milestone. What makes it even more extraordinary? She did it before fully settling into her WNBA career. In her first professional seasons, she achieved what most athletes spend a decade building. toward. The Wilson collection wasn't just about basketballs, it was about establishing Caitlyn as a true co-creator. That distinction matters. Athletes who are collaborators, not just faces on a poster, earn more respect, deeper loyalty, and ultimately far greater long-term value. Caitlyn's input on design, colors, and details set her apart. She wasn't just endorsing a product, she was shaping it. Just when it seemed the momentum couldn't climb higher, Nike dropped another bombshell. Caitlyn's personal logo. 2 interlocking C's. Simple, clean, elegant. At first glance, some called it basic, but that's exactly why it works. The greatest athlete logos are instantly recognizable and endlessly adaptable. Jordan's Jumpman, Federer's RF, Brady's TB12. Complexity isn't the goal. Memorability is. 2 interlocking C's can go on hoodies, t-shirts, shoes, bags, hats, phone cases, water bottles, anywhere. It scales, it looks elite, it reads official in any context. That's strategic brilliance, and that's just the beginning. Caitlyn's first full signature shoe is set to drop in October 2026, roughly 3 years into her pro career. 3 years. Most athletes wait a decade if they ever get that opportunity at all. Sneaker expert Nick DePaula estimates the launch could generate $100 to $150 million in sales. Let that sink in. Those are numbers usually reserved for superstars with 15 to 20 years of brand building behind them. Caitlyn is projecting those figures while still introducing herself to casual sports fans. Nike doesn't just see her as an athlete with endorsement potential, they see her as a long-term marketing engine, someone with cultural influence, capable of moving products and shifting conversations, drawing new audiences into spaces they may never have explored. A signature shoe is the ultimate validation in modern athlete branding. It shows a company is willing to invest enormous resources in your staying power, your ability to remain relevant and marketable for years, even decades. And Nike is making that bet on Caitlyn before she's even hit her prime. That level of confidence tells you everything about how the industry views her potential.
I know that, and I think I needed that moment here in the Big Ten tournament.
To really grasp what Caitlyn Clark has accomplished, you have to compare her rise to other emerging stars in women's basketball. Not to downplay anyone else's achievements, but to highlight just how extraordinary her marketing trajectory has been. Sabrina Ionescu has undeniable talent and growing endorsement appeal. She's a true star with commercial potential, but she hasn't headlined a Super Bowl ad or led a global viral campaign on Caitlyn's scale. At least, not yet. Angel Reese signed a major Reebok deal that drew early attention, especially over the last couple of games. But industry reports show sales didn't hit expectations, and the buzz started to fade by mid-season. Aja Wilson is a bona fide superstar with Nike deals and years of earned brand recognition. Even so, she didn't enter the league already carrying Caitlyn-level viral momentum. Her brand grew steadily, built over time through consistent excellence. A remarkable trajectory, just a different one. Jewel Lloyd has been a strong presence with steady sponsorships throughout her career. She's respected in marketing circles, but her campaigns haven't broken into mainstream cultural conversation like Caitlyn's have. Cameron Brink came in as a rookie phenom with significant NIL momentum from her college years, yet she hasn't reached that rare combination of national ad placement plus a signature product launch that converts casual viewers into paying fans. Now look at Caitlyn Clark's numbers again, and it's clear she's operating on a completely different level
of inventory. I do see like the Nike
66 million views in a single day from her Nike Super Bowl commercial, millions of dollars in earned media, real product sell-through from limited edition Gatorade bottles to Wilson basketball collections. Caitlyn Clark isn't just generating clicks or social media chatter. She's moving real inventory, turning attention into revenue, and drawing new fans into women's basketball like a magnet. That distinction is huge. Plenty of athletes can create buzz. Many can grab attention on social platforms, but turning that attention into sustained commercial success, products that sell out, campaigns that actually move the needle for major corporations takes something else entirely. It demands authenticity that resonates, timing that hits perfectly, and a presence that makes people want to invest in your story, not just your highlights. Caitlyn has been building a professional level brand before even fully settling into her WNBA career, leaving most of her peers trying to catch up in marketing impact, fan engagement, and social reach.
In the last 2 games.
Oh, you mean 51% from the field?
Like a good neighbor.
Outside Northwestern's Welsh Ryan Arena, it felt more like a home game.
Let's focus on the numbers that really matter, the ones that make executives take notice. Caitlin Clark's influence goes far beyond individual endorsement deals. Analysts estimate that she drives roughly 26-27% of all WNBA economic activity. Let that sink in. One player responsible for over a quarter of an entire league's economic engine. Tickets, merchandise, TV ratings, sponsorship valuations. Her impact touches it all. This isn't just impressive, it's transformative. It changes how leagues evaluate star power and how brands approach partnership opportunities. Forbes has already recognized her among the most powerful women in sports, noting that she earned approximately $8.1 million as a rookie, with multiple major endorsements poised to grow as her career progresses. But her social media growth might be the clearest signal of her cultural reach. Between March and April 2024, she gained roughly 775,000 Instagram followers, while her TikTok audience jumped 57%. Fans aren't just observing, they're investing, sharing her content, commenting, engaging. They're participants in her journey, not passive viewers. This combination of traditional media value and social engagement creates a self-sustaining flywheel. Each campaign fuels attention, which drives engagement, which attracts more brand opportunities, which fuels more campaigns. And Caitlin sits at the center, gaining a first-mover advantage that most competitors can only chase. The bigger picture is even more significant. What Caitlin Clark is building goes beyond personal brand growth. She's rewriting the playbook for athlete marketing, especially for women who historically have faced unique challenges and opportunities compared to men. Traditionally, athlete branding followed a slow path. Prove yourself on the court, win championships, accumulate accolades, and eventually brands would take notice. It was methodical, rewarding longevity. Caitlin has compressed that timeline while dramatically expanding what's possible. She's proving that with the right mix of talent, personality, and platform, an athlete can build commercial infrastructure alongside their athletic development, not after it. This isn't just her success, it's a signal to the next generation of female athletes and to the brands seeking to reach them. If Caitlin can generate this level of commercial attention and actual sales before reaching her prime, what does it say about the untapped potential of women's sports marketing as a whole? Executives are taking note. Nike spending $16 million on a Super Bowl slot featuring a women's basketball-led ad isn't just about Caitlin. It's a recognition that the audience for women's sports is bigger, more engaged, and more commercially powerful than previously believed. Caitlin is the proof of concept, a case study for marketing presentations and boardroom discussions for years to come, and she's only just getting started. Most athletes master the game, a few figure out how to sell it. Caitlin Clark does something rarer. She understands the ecosystem around it and is bending it in real time. She isn't waiting for permission or following decades-old scripts. She's positioning herself at the intersection of culture, commerce, and competition, forcing leagues and brands to adapt around her. Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, these aren't just endorsements. They're markers of a shift already underway. And the real question isn't whether this moment lasts. It's who recognizes its significance before the window closes. Because when a single player begins to redefine value at this scale, the next move doesn't just change a career, it changes the entire industry. So here's the question: who sees what's coming next? And who is about to be left behind?